In this video, we're going to review how to insert a block and add some ordinate dimensions. So first thing I'm going to do is add some layers. So we'll put a layer for dimensions and one for, we'll just call it axes, and one for forces. So this just provides an easy way to have different colors and different different line thicknesses. So maybe we'll make we'll make the dimensions blue. Whoops, and we'll make the axes red, and let's make the forces green. And of course, you can always change this later on if you want to. So let's put the dimensions in first. So I'll just make that the active layer, and I'll go to we want horizontal ordinate. So in other words, if I want this, if I was summing moments out here, I might put the origin there, and then all I have to do is pick the rest of them. And these are all linked together. You can see they move together. Okay, so now I'm going to change the layer to axes and go over to Insert, Annotations, Block. Okay, so I had already selected that. If you didn't see anything there, you can just click Browse, and so there's my X, Y reference, and you can see that I can change the size of it. I could change the angle, so maybe that's about the size that I want, and we'll just put that down here. Okay, and then if I want that to be thicker, let's see what it's set to in the layer. So maybe I'll just bring that up a little bit, and right. Okay, so that just turned black. I'm not sure why that happened. This should have been red, but that hasn't turned back to red. So let me just click on this again. Or maybe I moved it to a wrong layer. Yeah, so let's switch that back to axes. Okay, so now it's back to red. So now we want to put in some forces. So we'll go Insert, Annotations, Block, and I'll have to browse. Okay, so now I have a force, and I might change the length of it and say I just want to put that over here for now. Okay, and this we want to put on the other layer, so put that to layer forces. Okay, so now it's green, but it's pretty thin. So if I want to increase the thickness of that, whoops, if I go to layers, and let's make this the active. So if I change that to a bigger thickness, a thicker line, nothing happens, right? So it turns out that this was actually made by using the text command and just getting a text arrow, but in the box I just put in a space. So for text, for notes, I should say, it was the notes, got to go to Document Properties, Annotations, and Notes. And you can see that with a note, you can control the thickness of the note leader line independently. So that means I have to come over here and I'll change that. Okay, so now that's about the thickness that I want. And the other thing I just want to show you how to do is how to put in some text with subscripts. So for instance, if we wanted to label this as F sub x2 or something like that, this force over here, I would just click on notes, and so say I want this to be F. Now, there's no subscript button here, but you can use this stack command. And for upper, I'm just going to put a space, and for lower, maybe I'll do 2x. And for the style, I don't want the line there because I'm just kind of using this kind of as a subscript. So I'll just pick that button right there, and you can control the stack size. And I might decide, well, I would really like this to be, maybe I'll make that like 16 font, and whoops. Okay. There we go. And maybe I want it to be bold. Okay, and right now I have that on the color of forces, the same as the force, but I can move this around, position it, and anyways, that allows me then to, working with the actual model that you have, you can either do a plan view of a whole assembly, and if you have the whole assembly, you can fly out the assembly and actually turn different parts on and off depending on what you want to put your coordinates or your forces on, and now you can create a nice slide or a figure for your final report with reference axes and everything labeled. So anyways, hope this helps.